Hi everyone, welcome to the visual guide for the Sigmascape version 1.0, also known as O5N. This is the first new raid instance made available by patch 4.2 in Final Fantasy XIV, Rise of a New Sun. Before I derail the intro with a bunch of boo ring phantom train puns, let's stay on track. My name is Mistech and I'll be your raid guide. As the encounter begins, 4 square telegraphs will appear on the platform. Move away from these to avoid death. Eventually, 4 ghosts will spawn, surrounded by a square barrier. Head-on will have the boss ramming the platform, dealing proximity-based damage and knocking back all players. Move as far away as possible to reduce damage. 2 spotlights will then spawn, and the game will basically demonstrate that ghosts hit by this attack are immediately eradicated. Keep this in mind for later. Next up, players will be marked with this orange prey marker, and spotlights will spawn on them. These spotlights will follow the targeted players for a short while before finally settling and blasting the platform. Move out of these as necessary. Diabolical headlamp will mark up a player with this lineup marker. Players will need to share this incoming damage by being in line from the boss with this player. Diabolical whistle will spawn a ghost that will tether to a player. Immediately after, 2 other players will be marked for prey, and spotlights will begin to follow them around. The tethered player will need to force their ghost into a spotlight to destroy it. If the ghost should reach the tethered player, they will be transported into the passenger car, where they will have to destroy the passenger ghost before being allowed to return to the platform. DOOMSTRIKE is a tankbuster on the primary target that should be cooldowned and healed through. Next, 2 players will be marked by these large green AoE circles. Shortly after, these will spawn large tornadoes on the affected players, and they'll need to be moved away from others to avoid overlapping damage. The next diabolical whistle will spawn a number of ghosts on either side of the platform that will slowly make their way across to the other side before disappearing. Players will need to avoid getting in their way, or they'll be transported to the passenger car as well. Next up, 2 players will be targeted by these large red circles. Shortly after, they'll drop down proximity markers underneath them, and players will need to move away from them to reduce damage. An easy way to handle this is to position these red markers to the back of the platform, so that the raid may continue to damage the boss during this. Acid Rain will do raid-wide AoE damage. Healers be ready with shields and heals. At this point, the boss will reappear alongside the platform, and a number of putrid passenger ads will spawn. Tanks will pick these up while everyone else destroys them as quickly as possible. During this time, players will be marked with the green wind markers, and they should spread away from others as necessary. Once all the ads are destroyed, players will be able to jump on the boss's back and destroy the doom chimney. This will return everyone back to the platform, but cause a cloud of smoke to afflict everyone with throttle. Players will have only a few short moments to find a way off of the platform before they suffocate and die. To do this, you'll willingly touch a ghost to be transported to the passenger car. Once inside, be sure to destroy your ad as quickly as possible to be able to return to the encounter. At this point, the fight will resume. The mechanics you've seen so far will repeat with some overlap. The basic principles of each remain the same, so it's just a matter of handling each in turn. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Up next, we'll dive into Sigmascape version 2.0. As always, thanks for watching. Till next time.